All right. Welcome back to Math is Easy, Step by Step. We're working on the skills portion to find the zeros of a function, that test question you're going to see. And so I'd like to continue the review. And I don't like to rush things, so I break these videos up into multiple parts, trying to take my time. And you as well, when you're working your problems, go slow. There's no need to go fast. Let's review substitution method, right? So we have an expression, x squared plus 3x minus 2, where x is equal to 2. And in review, you could substitute a 2 everywhere you see x in that problem. What we're going to do is step 1, substitute the value of x everywhere you see an x value. Okay, we're going to do that right here. So you can see the original expression, and I'm substituting a 2 because x equals 2, right? I can substitute that value for 2 everywhere you see a 2. Now I'm going to go through this step by step following the order of operations. And what I'm going to do is first work on parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide. Oh, move this up a little bit here for you, excuse me. Uh, in order to simplify this expression to its fullest. And if you do go out of the order of operation, you may come up with a different solution. Pause the video, try to work this through. Let's see if you can come up with the same simplified answer that I do. So, again, using PEMDAS, first we're going to focus on parentheses. And we do have parentheses, but there's nothing inside these parentheses to simplify, right? They're just organizing these values of 2. Now, so I move on to the next one. Exponents. Do we have any exponents in this problem? Yeah, there's one here. 2 to the second power simply means 2 times 2. So I'm going to take this step by step, and whatever I don't simplify, I rewrite. So the exponent is 2 times 2. I'll work on that, but then I'm going to rewrite the plus 3 times 2 plus a negative 2. Right? I'm gonna rewrite that information going in order. Here I kind of skipped the step with rewriting, and I'm going to do the exponent first. Then since there's no parentheses that I can work on the inside, I skip straight to multiplying and dividing, what you see here, 3 times the 2. And the final step is to add or subtract. So again, 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 3 times 2 is 6, and I just rewrote that negative 2. You see here, are there any parentheses? No. Following the order of operations. Any exponents in here? No. Can I multiply or divide here? No. Can I add or subtract? Yes. And the rule is when it's a tie, you have adding, subtracting. The rule is you do not want to do the term on the right first. The rule is when there's a tie, you go from left to right. So 4 plus 6, and then I'll subtract that 2 to finish. 4 plus 6 is 10. I'll just rewrite that negative 2. I do want to emphasize, hey, look, you can put a plus sign between any two terms, right? That's a negative 2 term. That's a positive 10 term. And I'm going to put a plus sign right here. Okay? You can do that. It only clarifies what you need to do. It's not going to change the outcome, right? So 10 plus a negative 2 is a positive 8. Think of it this way. Hey, you got $10, right? You want to borrow $2, right? So you're going to borrow. You owe me $2. How much money do I have left? Well, I've only got, I'm sorry, how much money are you going to pay me back? $8. Excuse me. That doesn't make any sense. I have $10. You want to borrow 2. How much money do I have left? I have $8 left. That was a tough one. I was on the spot there. I'd like to continue with going over the review section, and I'd like to review. See, we all make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's the golden road to knowledge. I think it's a little more difficult to make mistakes when you're alive. So reviewing factoring of polynomials, right? So this is a skill you're going to need to have. And again, later on, in a separate video, a separate multiple different type of test questions. I'm going to go over multiple ways to factor. So this is just a general understanding of how to factor. So we have an expression, x squared plus 2x minus 24. All right, I want to factor this term. So step one, what are all the numbers or multiples of a negative 24, right? I want to know all the numbers that multiply to a negative 24, but then they add up to a positive 2. And you can also look at this as a type of like reverse FOIL, right? It's kind of like reverse FOIL. I'm going to go over FOIL in my last skill review video. I can see that time is running out here on the video. So again, I'm going to factor this expression. I want to find two numbers that would multiply to a negative 24. But when you add them together, it will give you a positive 2. That's the term here in the middle, right? So what I do is I set up a factor tree, right? Factor is the answer to a multiplication problem. And so I'm setting up this factor tree like you can see here. And so again, I want to take my time. I don't want to rush through this. And I would like to continue with another skills video after this. And then final video, we'll be going over multiple ways to answer that test question. And so here is the factor tree. So these are all the numbers that multiply to a negative 24, right? These are all multiplication symbols. So I know a negative 1 times 24 gives me a negative 24. A positive 1 times a negative 24 will give me a negative 24 answer. Negative 2 times a positive 12 will give me negative 24. Positive 2 times a negative 12 will give me negative 24. Negative 3 times positive 8. Positive 3 times a negative 8. Negative 4 times 6 and a positive 4 times a negative 6. Every one of these numbers will multiply to a negative 24. My task, my goal is to choose which one of these values or which one of these products will add up to a positive 2 that you can see right here. Again, which one of those will add up to a positive 2? Why? Because I'm looking for, in order to factor, I'm looking for two numbers that will multiply to a negative 24 but will add up to a positive 2. Go ahead, I'll show these factors again. Pause your video. Try to determine which one of these is going to add up to a positive 2. Hey, thanks for joining me. Keep an eye out for the remaining videos. Math is easy. Take it step by step.